Disclaimer, this video is under fair use. And if you don't like my content, there's no point in telling me. You know what to do. Welcome back to It Is What It Is, and you already know what it is with me. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, let's get the elephant out the room for my subscribers that know. Y'all know I haven't been making videos in a minute, and that's because my piece broke that I be recording on. But you know, your girl got a new piece and she back at it with y'all to go over all the tea that really has been going on. And y'all, I don't care if it's old news, we about to cover what has been happening in the past 6 months and recent. But I'm about to sum up all the old news so we can get back to the current news. So up first, we got the Joseline and Big Lex situation. Y'all, this situation has finally come to an end, I feel like. I mean, at least until Big Lex gets her get back. That is if she gets her get back. But overall, this situation legally has come to a complete close. And y'all, shockingly enough, just like the girls on Joseline's Cabaret that tried to sue Joseline for what was going on, you know, how she treated them. What's crazy to me is how those lawsuits didn't fall through, and how, just like how they didn't win those lawsuits, girl, Big Lex did not win this lawsuit with Joseline, and we about to go into why. Now again, this was a little over 6 months ago, but there was an article that released that said Big Lex was dropped by her lawyer during Joseline's assault case. Shortly after that, another article dropped saying that Joseline pleaded no contest to the charges, and the judge ended up sentencing her to 2 years probation. But that's also not it. It says that she also has to adhere to strict court regulations during this time. But that's not all. They about to have Miss Cocalina taking random drug tests. She not gonna like that too well, but God knows she needs it, as well as this 29-week online intervention class that she's going to be taking to control her anger, because she needs that too. And lastly, Joseline's plea deal also includes that she stays away from Lex and her family, you know, doesn't contact them, doesn't get anywhere near them for the next 2 years. Now, this is where I feel like Lex completely messed up. When you're in court, it doesn't matter if you have to make one appearance or continuous appearances. Conduct absolutely matters. And while this open case was going on, she was getting into altercations with Stunna Girl. And I don't feel like it was just an altercation, the fact that she got into it with her on social media. It's the fact that Lex wanted to claim that she was gang and that she was blood. And then, not only that, she went on to make a song that literally threatens Stunna Girl. In her song, she says that she's going to spin the block on Stunna Girl. When you have an open lawsuit against someone and you're the victim, it does not look good to not only just let it be known that you're in a gang, you know, that you're claiming that you're in a gang, but also to make a song that threatens to off someone, basically. It's not smart, and it's something that, if it gets taken to court, can be used against Lex in court. And this is why I feel like her lawyer absolutely dropped her, and that's why she didn't get any money out of Joseline. All she got was probation for Joseline and some anger classes and a restraining order. And honestly, if you guys know how probation works, in some situations you can even get that removed from your case. So this does not look like a win for me. I'm just shocked that Lex would do something that dumb in the midst of all of this. In the midst of the lawsuits, you know, her trying to get something out of Joseline, I almost feel like she should have sued the venue. I don't know. What do y'all think? I feel like she would have had better chances suing the venue instead of going after Joseline. Now, while we're on the subject of Lex getting dropped by her lawyer, because she was going back and forth with Stunna Girl claiming she was blood and all of that, Lex did respond, because if y'all do know the whole situation with them and Lex doing the diss track. So I did make a video about how Stunna Girl responded to Lex's diss track, but she basically did it in a live and said she wasn't gonna do no song back because she doesn't consider Lex a real rapper and whatnot. So she just said it doesn't make sense for her to do no diss track, and Lex responded to that too, but she basically just went live and was like insulting Stunna and saying how like she was upset basically that Stunna didn't do no diss track. She was like, why you didn't do no diss track? And she was just talking about how she want to recruit Stunna peoples, and she was like, you know, come F with some real bloods. And I don't know what was going on in her live. It kind of seemed like she was drunk or whatever, but they did do some back and forth, you know, talking about that afterwards. Now I want to touch on Close Friends, because Close Friends is the new show that Lex has, and she brought a lot of other faces on the show, and everyone is upset about the show simply because there weren't a lot of episodes. And honestly, that's something I didn't really understand either. And then right now they're looking for all new faces to be on the official first season of Close Friends. And that's all cool and all, but what I don't understand is why would you pick the girls that you pick for the pilot, just not have them on the first season? Lex did a live and explained that the only reason why she had the girls on there is so she could feel a vibe out. She just want to catch some vibes, and I mean, that's cool and all and whatever, but still, I feel like professionally, I don't know whose idea it was to just have the pilot and run with the pilot and then just figure out the rest later, but that still don't make sense to me. But moving on. In my opinion, I feel like the vibes on Close Friends was a little fake and weird from a little bit of everybody, honestly. I do remember when Lex was promoting the show at first, she kind of gave off like little hints that she was going through some type of plan with Close Friends. She was like, I'm coming with all this pent up energy from all these other girls that did me this way and that way, so y'all better watch out. And I think that's why she was talking crap and just kind of running her mouth about a lot of girls on the show, because she really just, I guess, was planning to be the antagonist towards everybody already. I don't know, the vibes was a little weird. I was kind of getting the vibes from everyone on Close Friends that everybody was kind of just doing everything for the cameras. I don't know why. Close Friends just was giving me like this feeling like it just wasn't that authentic with the vibes. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's why Lex wants to replace some of the girls, but even Lex wasn't giving authentic to me. Like, she kind of seemed like she was trying too hard to be funny, and it was just coming off too pushy. Like, she wanted you to laugh so hard at what she was saying, and it was just, I feel like a little bit of everybody was just a little too try hard for me, but maybe that's why Lex wants to get rid of the cast and just do an all new cast for her show. I don't know. I feel like the reason why she also wants to do that is because she did not get along well with most of the girls on her cast. Well, it's like half of them she got along with, the other half she didn't, and she ended up falling out with more of them just after the show. Now, this kind of goes into all the drama that was kind of circulating around Tilo, who is the CEO of Nowthatstv. Now, one thing I've noticed about Tilo is he will not come out and speak about any type of drama. Even if it's speaking on his name, he will not come out and address it. But I guess because so many people were talking about the rumors between him and Ferrari, that he went on live and later confirmed that him and Ferrari were just friends and they weren't messing around, and that he wouldn't do something like that. And Ferrari later came out and said the same thing. But you know how this go. We don't know who's really telling the truth, and if they are telling the truth, we know these people like to cover each other when it comes to stuff like this. So who really knows? Now, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold y'all. But I feel like another reason why Tilo especially addressed the rumors between him and Ferrari is because Ferrari has confirmed that she has an STD that's incurable. So I feel like that also was his way of kind of saying, yeah, me and her definitely didn't do nothing, didn't catch nothing, I'm good. Now, even when these rumors were circling around between Tilo and Ferrari, Big Lex also inserted herself and was kind of just clapping back on the Nowthatstv girls along with Diamond. So this goes into the whole situation with Tilo. So basically, Big Lex and Diamond were clapping back at each other. Big Lex was like basically telling her that her and Tilo had to show up at her club and throw some ones at her on her stage set because no one was throwing any ones on her. And Diamond was getting on her, saying no one was at her shows. She showed up to Lex's show and no one was there or whatever. They basically were just going back and forth. So then Lex goes to her story and mentions how everything that the Nowthatstv girls are doing or trying to do, she already did, and how Tilo is basically paying for everything that she has, and everything that she wants Tilo is going to get for her. Now, what's crazy is we already know that Tilo has this track record of trying to be on the low key with the girls on the network and, you know, basically F with them and get them stuff like he, you know, some community sugar daddy. That's just kind of what it's giving, you know. Tilo is for everybody at this point. That's just what it's giving. And y'all, a lot of the girls say a lot of crazy stuff about Tilo already, especially Lex, and especially some of the girls that have fallen off of Nowthatstv and shockingly still got on no matter the crazy stuff that they say about Tilo. I don't know, Tilo seemed like a very forgiving person because a lot of them be saying crazy stuff about him. Lex be talking about how they be using the girls on the network and how they're just a part of this big game that they created and how he just gonna do everything, this, that, and the third for her and whatever. They say a lot of crazy stuff. But Tilo went live on some business-ish after she posted this, and he was basically, I guess, discussing the shows that were gonna come up. If I have the live, I'm gonna post it. But y'all, people did not care about what he was talking about in this live. They were like, oh, so you be doing this, that, and the third for the girls on LSTV? You be effing with them? You be effing with Legs? And they were asking him, oh, she said that you were gonna do everything for her. Do you be doing everything for her? You gonna get her whatever she wants? And he literally got mad and ended this live. But before he ended the live, he was like, I don't do for that girl. And then he just ended the live. Afterwards, it became pretty clear why he was doing all of this. Apparently, he's seen Carly Red, who, if y'all don't know, she's on Love and Hip Hop. She been on Love and Hip Hop. She been around. You know, he started posting Carly on his page, heart emojis, and she started responding back. And then it became clear that I guess they were dating. He even put her on this one little unnecessary episode on Nowthatstv with Liddy and Ivory, trying to figure out the whole baby stealing chain situation. That was just a very weird episode. I don't know. It just didn't seem like Carly Red was supposed to be there, and she just seemed very out of place and out of her element. I don't know. It was strange. But yeah, Tilo's, I guess, doing his messy thing. He was messing with the Nowthatstv girls, and now he feel like he in the bigger leagues with the Love and Hip Hop girlies. I wonder who he's going to try to date next. Now, that isn't the only messy things that's been going on with Tilo. I'm sure y'all remember Dime's show on Nowthatstv that never got a reunion. I was wondering why we haven't seen a reunion from her, but she went live and basically addressed all the tea and basically said on Tilo's end, he has her messed up. She was trying to do the reunion, but they weren't following through on, I guess, some of the things that they needed to have covered on their end. I guess they were going to provide the chain that they were going to give to the winner of the show. She was still waiting on them to give her that so she could give it to the winner. She was waiting on multiple other things, and I guess they were trying to do the reunion, a joint reunion, and she didn't want that. And she was basically mad because I guess they were trying to control how she wanted to run her show. And then not only that, but she said that they ghosted her on a lot of things that they needed to address. And y'all, this is not the first time I've heard from other cast members and other partners and hosts on Nowthatstv or partnered with Nowthatstv complaining about how they've been ghosted when they're in the middle of business conversations. So this is not the first time, and I'm honestly not shocked that this happened to her. Now, another major thing that happened was Isiah, who is part of the reason why a lot of the shows on Nowthatstv are popping. Isiah, who is the CEO of South Central Baddies and South Central Playboys, I think, or the show Playboys, other shows too that he's been trying to start. He's been basically kicking off everything on Nowthatstv for the main part. He stopped being a part of Nowthatstv and he went to go join Stunna Girl's network. Now, Stunna Girl started a network called Red Rum, and honestly, in my opinion, I feel like she started this network because she low-key coming for Lex. That's just kind of what I think. I think maybe she wanted to start one, but I feel like this is just one of those things where she's trying to really like come on top of everyone and be like, yeah, I can have my own network too, and basically pop-ish off and get it started and have it more popping in y'all network. And she say they're not in competition, but honestly, it's just giving low-key competition. It's giving she want to be the underdog. And you know, I'm not hating on her for that. I like Stunna Girl, but I'm just saying that's just what it's giving to me. And honestly, I'm all here for a little fair competition. I'm all here for it. You know, it might bring a little drama, but you know, we be eating it up. And speaking of drama, Isiah moving to Stunna Girl's network, which is Red Rum, has already been causing so much drama already. But at first, I kind of want to get into why Isiah left Nowthatstv in the first place. So from what I've been seeing is Isiah has been claiming there has been some misconduct going on while he was filming his shows on Playboys and South Central Baddies. He was saying that there were claims of SA on the set, and you know, basically that he was just being violated. And I think he went live and was actually crying about this too. Like, I didn't see the full live, y'all, but if I find it, I'm gonna have everything in the description as usual. But those were some serious allegations that he was claiming. He did say that it had nothing to do with Tilo, but I guess it has something to do with production. I don't know what's going on with that. It doesn't seem like any of that is really moving towards, you know, him suing or anything like that, but those are the claims that he made. Now let's just pause right here. Isiah, before he left Nowthatstv, he was trying to get other shows greenlit on Nowthatstv, but they weren't happening, and I guess part of that was because Nowthatstv, you know, Tilo already had other shows lined up, and I know Isiah be wanting to get them shows out the door. You feel me? And this actually goes into the little altercation that Isiah got into with Lex when he was going to start a rap show, or he was pitching a rap show on Nowthatstv, and Lex actually got mad and was like, oh, why do he get to pitch a rap show? I've been saying I want a rap show. She kept saying how she been saying that she wanted this, and and I personally did not see this. I guess she didn't say it in public. I guess she pitched it to Tilo, and Tilo just didn't do anything about it. But I guess Isiah was talking about how they were going to get to work on that show for him or whatever, and they were just going back and forth, and Isiah was basically like, well, Lex, you should have been quicker with it. And honestly, she should have, because she stayed complaining but not really doing much, and I wonder if that's because Tilo is not letting her. I don't know, it's given she don't really got much pull at Nowthatstv. I don't know what's going on, but she basically was just mad that he was running with the idea, and it's like, yeah, first come first serve makes sense. But I say that to say, I feel like that's also why Isiah left the network. I think he felt like he wasn't getting as many shows as he wanted out on the network, and he thought, you know, since he's gonna be one of Stunna Girl's first, I guess, partners with the network to produce shows, that he was gonna have more of like space to be more creative in. And I think that's part of the reason why he left. And child, even when Isiah went to Stunna Girl's network Red Rum, Lex even got on Isiah and was blaming him for network hopping, which now the TV girls got on Lex for doing like cash, basically saying, don't be mad at my friend for going to Stunna Girl's network just because you got into it with Stunna Girl. Child, I'm so weak, because Lex was like, girl, get that network off the ground, and Stunna Girl got that network off the ground. But anyways, Isiah ended up responding to Lex's comment and saying, girl, you literally can't be talking because you was trying to network jump too. And y'all, I thought the network he was going to be talking about was Zeus, because Lex has been trying to sneak back onto Zeus, y'all. She been going to Zeus conferences. She been doing all types of little things in the background trying to get back on Zeus in some way, shape, or form. But he was not talking about Zeus. He was talking about another network that I personally have never heard about. And Lex didn't deny this or anything. She told Cash to shut up, and she basically just let it die down. But what's kind of embarrassing now is that Isiah is no longer on Stunna Girl's network. Y'all, I was so shocked to find this out. But Stunna Girl went live and addressed this, and she was saying things like, how are you a CEO but you don't own your stuff? You don't own anything on paper. This is what I feel like happened. If you go to the Nowthatstv app, you'll see that Isiah's shows are still on the app. He left Nowthatstv, but I'm guessing he still has all his paperwork over there. He just left on a whim and thought that, I don't know, he could probably pick the show up on another network, but it looks like legally and on paper he didn't settle his differences with Nowthatstv because his shows are still on the network. They didn't take them off. So I'm guessing that's what Stunna Girl meant when she said he isn't a CEO and he doesn't actually own what he says that he owns. Which to me, it disappoints me for Isiah, because I actually like Isiah. And I think that the last season of South Central Baddies was the best season by far, so far. And I really just hate that for him. It sounds like, honestly, to me, it does sound like he was lying about it. Now, what I will say that I don't like about the situation is I just hate the fact that Isiah didn't get his ish together, basically. I know that he's young. I think he's 19 years old. I don't know how old he is. I just know that he's still young and he's still new to how this business thing goes. But I feel like he should have established honesty from the very start. He should have had everything correct from the very start. And what I don't like about for Stunna Girl in this situation is I don't like how she went on live and put him on blast and just made it a whole dramatic thing. I'm kind of conflicted about it, because it's like, okay, he lied to you, so I get putting him on blast, but at the same time, I would just kind of hint at the fact that he was dishonest and would have kept it pushing. I feel like Stunna Girl should have said something like, it's not gonna work out, not everything checked out on his end, but we wish him well, we're still gonna have this show coming out. You know, just keep it professional and keep it pushing. Do some damage control, because I feel like, I do wish Isiah had a better attitude, because he immediately was like, oh, you can't trust nobody, acting like Stunna did something. But honestly, I feel like this is no fault on Stunna's end, and it's actually all the fault is on his end. I feel like I wish he just would have had a better attitude coming out of it, but he did switch up his tone and was like, I wish all the best for Stunna, and there's no hard feelings. And he did end up, I guess, kind of tying things up, even though they did unfollow each other on Instagram. I still feel like it's just a bit messy, and I know that some people will disagree with what I said and be like, oh, well, she should have put him on blast for lying about something like that. And I don't completely disagree with that, because I feel like it's just justice to do either or. But I like Isiah, y'all, so it's a personal opinion for me. I just feel like Stunna Girl should have went the more professional route with it, and this really should be a learning experience for Isiah, to be completely honest when doing business, because honey, they're going to find out if you own those shows one way or another. So why lie? That's just gonna mess yourself up, which he did. Now, last but not least, we about to get into this diss track that Liddy dropped. This diss track that Liddy dropped on Lex, my girl Liddy. If you want to stay, come and get it, okay? Y'all, I'm serious as hell, but let me tell you something. Why Stunna Girl liked the diss track, y'all. Messy, okay? But back to it. She not only liked the diss track, she also shared it on her story. And let me tell y'all what got me weak. Liddy dropped this diss track as fast as Kendrick was dropping them diss tracks on Drizzy, okay, period. But this is how it started. So Liddy has a podcast, right? And she did this one episode where she had Egypt on her podcast. And for those who don't know, Egypt is a cast member on Lex's show Close Friends. Now, from what I can remember from the show, I think Lex got along with Egypt on the show, but after the show, I think she talked about Egypt's teeth. I can't remember if she talked about her teeth on the show, and just after the show, they ended up falling out about it, or whatever. I don't know. Lex was talking crap about a lot of girls on Close Friends. But anyway, they fell out because Lex started talking about Egypt's teeth or whatever, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Even Lex was like, girl, I had a gap, I got my teeth fixed too, yada yada yada, whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. And so here is Egypt sitting on Liddy's podcast. Liddy asked her a question about Lex, and she basically just talked about how she doesn't like Lex, doesn't think Lex has any friends, and is just basically talking crap about her. And then Liddy joins in and is like, oh yeah, when she spoke about how all the girls on my show, South Central Baddies, were homeless and just speaking crap about her, I just, didn't F with her after that either. So when Lex found out about this, she went to her live, and I'm talking about Miss Ma'am was mad. She was going completely ape. She was talking about Egypt, how Egypt had a stud girlfriend who it was rumored she had STDs. I didn't know Egypt had a girlfriend. That's why these girls need to stop telling each other information or whatever, or telling their best friends who they can't trust their information, because then this stuff like this happens. But anyway, she was talking about Egypt, how she had that. She was talking about Liddy's family, and just a bunch of crazy stuff. If I had the video or can find it, I'll link it down in the description below so y'all can see what she actually said. But she was just going crazy on these girls. And Lex was saying in her live, she was like, y'all have all this time on your hands. That's how you know girls don't be making money, is because they be too busy talking about you. Keep my name out your mouths. I don't be talking about you girls. Why are you talking about me? But my thing is this, in this situation, Liddy and Egypt are just clapping back at Lex for what she started. She literally is the one that spoke on Liddy's franchise, said all the girls on South Central Baddies were hood rats and this, that, and the third, and then she spoke on Egypt first when they didn't speak on her first. So they're basically just clapping back, and it's like, you can't be mad at that. When it comes to social media and this reality beef, there's always gonna be the girl that says something unprovoked. There's always those girls that are just bored, so they're just gonna say offensive things just to get a rile out of you. That's what Lex gives to me. She gives very much mean girl, just unnecessary mean girl. And then she gets mad when girls want to clap back, but you can't do that because you know what you said. So don't get mad when girls want to clap back, because at this point it's fair game. I mean, do y'all feel me? Like, don't be sitting up there on the live about to bust a vein yelling at girls to stop talking about you if you're not gonna stop talking about them. Come on, sis. Like, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. And then shortly after Lex did that live, that's when Liddy dropped that diss track. And I'm telling you, that diss track is hitting harder than anyone. And I mean anyone on Nowthatstv ever came with. I'm telling you. Liddy is my girl, and they can never make me hate her. She ate that up, and she could have been eating anyone up on that track. But she had the receipts. And the receipts was tea. And she could have went harder. She could have went harder, y'all. But she kept it light on her ass. And that's my girl. Liddy, if you want to stay, come and get it. But that's it, y'all. Let me know what y'all want me to do more videos on in the comments. Some people want me to do more videos on Zeus and the Zeus girlies, but girl, Natalie get on my nerves. And them girls is a bunch of dodo birds in a bag. And I can't deal with them, girl. I can't. They just so dumb. Is it just me? Or them girls slow. And I can't with a baddie shot o'clock. Them girls are just too slow for me to be making segments on. I'm sorry. I might have to think about it. But let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. And yeah, I'm out.